Hey, okay, I tried to make a comment that I thought of, um, and it asked me, it said, "Are you sure you want to make this comment? Be kind and whatever." It was a comment on my own video. And I've never gotten that before. Maybe I've never been as vicious before, but so I'm like, yeah, I want to. And then I edited it because I edit them when I've misspelled, or not misspelled necessarily, but when I leave off a letter or whatever. So I changed mouse to mousy because I meant to say mousy, and I changed silver to, because it left the R off. Well, anyway, it kept asking me, are something about, are you sure? And got it and all that. So I'm like, yeah, I got it. I mean, don't, whatever you call it, marginalize righteousness. Okay. This is not, okay. There's Psalm 55:21. The words of their mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. This is what these debauchery people are speaking out, and it's nothing but death. I commented, like, to, because I said a strong personality that God gave you as a gift. It also goes the other way. If you're like I used to be, kind of mousy and shy, and people would walk all over me, and then the Bible taught me how to be strong. Okay, so strengthen my character, but yet I still have a good, soft heart that I was gifted with, and whatever the gifts come with, whatever the gifts are, with a mousy personality. So I still have those, but they're okay. So what I was commenting also is, disclaimer, I am not encouraging those words like fag and faggot and name calling like that, but um because of the extreme, like I've said before, if I use a cuss word, it's because it is the only vile word that is vile enough to describe the vile behavior. Okay, so this is similar. These people, demonically possessed people, are using words smoother than butter and softer than oil, but they're corrupting these young minds and weak-minded, feeble-minded people who want to be accepted, and you know and my ministry isn't the syrupy, sweet, lovey Christian bleeding heart. That's not my gift. That's not my ministry. But the ones whose that is their ministry, good for them. They are going to reach lots of people with that. But the gospel is offensive to those who are perishing. Jesus didn't cry about, oh, please follow me, please. You know, Jesus didn't hand us a silver platter of sugar coated shit and say, here, eat and be filled. No, we don't. That's what the democrat far lefters do. They hand us shit, yet they sugarcoat it and say it's yummy. Okay? The gospel is not that way. It is hardcore. I've said it before. Jesus calls a drunk a drunk. He might have called a whore a whore. I mean, he doesn't mince words. And God bless the sweet ministries, but that's not mine. And if you start messing with God, God's people, the least of these, and their minds, that's pissing me off, because my mind used to be messed with both ways, with the Christians and the world, the legalism, or the um lying. And I understand the condemnation under God. I understand, which is wrong. I understand those things. So anyway, I'm getting tongue tied, and I can't flow properly, but I wanted to say I'm not encouraging that kind of behavior and talk. But when I get mad, and some other Christians like me that might have that type of personality, um, to have these people who want open borders and all these lies, and they're robbing the government blind with all their corrupt tax pocketing money, and and they smile at your face, and then all the while they're rah rah rah, yeah, gay rights and whatever other debauchery. The rainbow is God's, and they're using it for debauchery, exactly what God taught against. And we, sweet, loving Christians, don't do anything about it. No, we need to carry around a whole bunch of Noah's Ark, and every time we see a gay, faggot rainbow that's not God, we need to stick a Noah's Ark on it. Rub it under their face like they rub it under our face. That's offensive to me as a Christian. And they and we don't want to, how dare we offend them? That's wrong. We are wrong. The Christians have been wrong in so many ways for so many centuries. And we need to buck up and get a backbone and fight. Not that Jesus needs anyone to fight for him, but that's not what it is. We're not fighting for Jesus, as in that way. But I don't know how to explain it, but this, and on the news, like a couple days ago, they were starting to talk about how they've exposed fraud in this area and that area, and so's fired, and they're firing all these people that have been stealing money, taxpayers. And listen, the devil is going to run scared, and we need to take advantage of this. God is giving us a small crack in the door, or a time to, he's showing us that they're weakening, and we need to pounce. We need to pounce on it and stop being so politically correct, which is what they mucked that all up and smacked that label on it, and we're going to follow that? No, we're not followers of the world. This is where mixture has come in, and now we're all convoluted, and we don't know what's up and what's down. We don't know right from wrong anymore, biblically. Biblically, we have to. There's a few out there that still know the difference, like David Barton and that history guy, and just few like him. He's not even really like that, but he's the first one that is kind of what I can compare it to. So yes, I'm tired of us. This is exactly what their game is. They're spewing out all these regulations, and it's offensive to call somebody homeless. Let's call them rehome. All this politically correct bullshit. They're training us so that our minds are so watered down and confused that we can't even stand for anything. And That's not of Jesus. That's not of God. That's their design. Yet they don't even partake in it themselves. It is to train the Christians who are naturally so accepting and loving of everybody. And that's why Madeline O'Hare can take our Bible out of the school. Kind of Christian mentality. They know through the centuries, that's how stupid weak Christians are. So they see, that's why Charlie Kirk and TPA, Turning Point USA, that's why they're good. That's why they're warriors. They are warriors. Take notes from them and the people like them, because God doesn't call us to be weak and allow society to dictate to us what is offensive and what is politically correct and what is right and what is wrong, huh? So we're just going to go to our little cubby holes in the church and stay quiet while, no, because now they're taking the smut out of the schools. And I said, yeah, they said the colleges aren't the ones. But that's okay, because the younger the mind, the better. So if they're taking it out of the younger school libraries, that's excellent. And now they need to take all the Islam out of the colleges. And then everything will be back to normal or fine. Or it's always still going to be a battle. But this has gotten ridiculous. It's gotten ridiculous. How they monitor our speech, which is love speech, tough love speech. And they let the dogs and the vermin and the rats speak and say whatever they want, yet they won't do it themselves. Do you think they're going to open their homes to all the illegal aliens? No, but yet you better open the borders. That's so hateful. They don't even know the definition, the biblical definition of a stranger and an alien. Yet they used it against us because we don't know what we're talking about. We don't know the Bible. But there are Christians in the pulpit like John Hagee and Jack Hibbs and Greg Laurie and Alan Jackson that do know Bible compared to government. And that's what we all got to be doing. And you go to your workplace and you don't let them dictate to you what offends them. Because a Christian is always going to be offensive to those who are perishing. The cross is always going to be offensive to those. So don't worry about it. Stop worrying about your mouth and you're politically correct. Don't go around calling people faggots, but we're disciples. How dare us to say, God, no, I don't want to disciple like that. Yeah, no, he told you to disciple. And there's another psalm about these words, smoother than butter. There's another one like that. I just Googled that saying and it came up with that psalm. But please read the Bible. Read the Bible. Read the Bible. Make flashcards that help you and help you converse. And when you see a rainbow gay flag, say, yeah, thanks, cool. Noah. That's not a gay flag. That's not the gay thing. Symbol, emblem. See, I like the rainbow, but sometimes I've caught myself being afraid to wear rainbow stuff because I'm like, I don't want to be looked at like I'm gay, because I'm not gay. I'm a proud white female heterosexual. Should I say that in my title all the time and rub it under their face? Like, they don't have to rub it under our face anymore. But when we get into office or something like that, oh, aren't you proud to be the first black gay man? I'm surprised they didn't say black gay man Islam, stating his religion as well. I'm going to say I'm a proud heterosexual, white, female, Christian. Yeah. Who is politically correct. And I spread the gospel and I disciple. Because they're so proud to decipher what their sexual preference is, because they're grooming us. They've been grooming us, and it's time. God is giving us a tiny window here to turn the Titanic around as best we can on our way out of here. And I make no apologies. So, okay, I'm going to get back to my Bible reading. God bless you guys, and I encourage you to read the Bible too. If you don't want to read eschatology and the Old Testament, which the New Testament quotes the Old Testament. Who is it that was pointing it out? The 12 disciples were out there preaching the gospel without a Bible. They were out there spreading the gospel with a Torah, because the New Testament hadn't even been written yet. Paul is the one that wrote most of the New Testament anyway. So the disciples didn't have a New Testament carrying around, witnessing to people and discipling people about Jesus. So if you want to read the Old Testament, sure, read it. I'm just saying, read something. Read Proverbs. If you're upset and having a bad time, read Psalms. Or read Psalms if you're not having, because there's some Psalms in there that are praising God. If praising God isn't comfortable to you, then you need to ask Jesus. You need to learn how to be open with Jesus about everything. Say, Jesus, I think your Bible is boring. Jesus, I can't relate. Jesus, I don't want to praise you. That's kind of cheesy. I don't feel like very grateful right now. Say, Jesus, I want to be grateful. I want to praise you. What's wrong with me? You got to talk to him about all of your weaknesses. Come on. If you can't be honest with yourself enough to be honest with God, then you're screwed. So you better figure it out. You better figure it out. If you can go talk to a stranger counselor and think that, that's like going to a priest and asking for confession and forgiveness. And yet a counselor is the only person you can open up to. You have got to learn to open up to your God, your creator, who knows all about the human. And the Bible is the human manual. You can't do anything other than what he prescribes for a human, because he's the one that created the human. The demons want to distort it, contort it, and destroy it with all these weird ass lies, debauchery, so that they can destroy themselves. And he will help them get there. So if you feel confused, like you've been fed some lies, you need to talk to Jesus, because he's the only one that can help you, and he's got the Holy Spirit that's going to guide you into all truth. He's going to send you preachers, teachers, pastors, something. Google studies of the Bible online. You're going to have to do something. You're going to have to help yourself with getting to Jesus and learning to talk to him. If you don't, actually, you don't even have to just cry out and say, help me, Jesus. I don't know what's up anymore. I don't know what's down anymore. I'm confused. Christians are telling me this isn't right, but yet the left and all my life, I've heard that it's okay. Christians are telling me it's wrong, but I don't see how wrong it is. Say Jesus. Say all that to Jesus. And tell Jesus, say, I don't understand what's wrong. Why is it wrong? What's so wrong with it? I don't feel convicted that it's wrong. Trust me, he's going to talk to you. He's going to talk. He's going to talk. He's been not dying. He already died. He wants to talk to you. He is waiting to talk to you. So you're not alone. You don't have to go it alone. You have Jesus, and he wants you to be in community with other believers to help you and disciple you. So he will send you, but you have not because you ask not. He can't commune with someone who is too proud to ask. All right, so sorry this is kind of choppy, but I don't know. I lose my train of thought when I get on the video, but if you were in my living room or if I was on the phone with my boss or my ex, I would be spewing it out smoothly. I do it all the time. So, but anyway, yes, let's please try to get back on track and stop giving debauchery a voice and a foothold and any time, because that is not truth. It's debauchery, and they're trying to make it look normal and acceptable, and that's destruction and death. That's destruction and death. That's demonic. It's destruction and death. He's a liar, a thief, and a murderer. Okay? You can't sugarcoat it. Get your mind untangled and start screaming out to Jesus to help you untangle that mess. Okay, bye.